Unlike most people who would probably take their car out of the garage from storage and wash it and make sure everything's nice and clean before the show, I decided to airbag it. Because why not? So thanks to my cousin Adoni, who he gave me some bags from his GTI that he sold, and the whole air ride management system from Airlift Performance. I have most of the parts. I needed to get some bags because he kind of rubbed through 2 of them, but I have most of the stuff. So we're gonna get these in there and make it low. Not as low as it should be, but lower than it was, which is all I can ask for, because I don't feel like cutting fenders or changing the shocks and stuff. So we're just gonna get it riding on the bump stops. So yeah, let's get to work. Go. A little more clearance. Oh yeah, it just pops right out. Wow, it was way harder on the other side. Wiggle, wiggle. There we go. Alright, bump stop cut, put back on. So now we're gonna actually reassemble this and put it right back in, because there's nothing else that has to happen to this. I'm not making them any shorter, so we're basically as low as we can get is the bottom of the normal ride height, which, you know, that's all we can do without hacking things up. So that's all we're gonna do. So I'm sure a lot of people are gonna tell me that I've ruined my car now by putting on air ride. And to that I say, if you don't like air ride, don't put it on your car. This is just for shiggles. I have other plans for this van. I just want to see it on air. And I have this bracket, but it's made for a Mark 5 or something GTI, so it doesn't quite work for what we need. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it an inch lower so we get full compression. And then the other side I welded plates to it so I can secure it to the frame without having to weld directly to the frame. Alright, after some trial and error getting the legs to be the right distance apart with the different layers of sheet metal on the frame, I got it sitting nice and snug. Now we're just going to through bolt right through that plate and the plate behind it through the frame to keep it from moving anywhere. All the weight's transferred to the frame, but I don't want it twisting at all. For the bottom, it came with this. I don't know how it mounted in the Volkswagen, but I'm using it as an alignment peg on the bottom. I just have to shave it down so it fits snug, and then we'll just bolt it to the lower control arm to keep it aligned. Alright, so I welded this last night, but I didn't record it because my head would have been in the way anyway. But that extension plate's in, and I put the, whatever that's, nylon, I think, maybe, that puck on the bottom to align the bag. So now we just pop the bag in, secure it, and the front is all set until we run lines. Sorry. Just knock the audience the fuck out. Alright, we gotta cut this bracket out so that I can mount the bag to it from the inside, because the bolt holes are on the top of the bag. So I cut this side, and on the inside it's really tight, so I couldn't get a grinder, so I hit it with the carbide burr. I'm almost through, so let's see if I can't get it off now. after some careful guesstimating and welding, I got some captive nuts welded in the back of this bracket, plated it up, drilled out, ready to go. So I'm just gonna mount the bag on and then throw it on the frame. I decided to hide all the air ride equipment underneath the back seat that folds down. It fits snugly, but it does fit. So I'm gonna put this here because I need to put other stuff in the trunk. We'll talk about that later. But for now, the old scissor jack mount's gotta go because it's in the way, and I don't have it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So that's gotta go first, and then we can fit the wood panel. Alright, so I had some scrap black walnut laying around from some other projects at work. Figured we'd put it to good use. Before I get too carried away and plumb everything, I took it all, well, I'm going to take it all back apart one last time. All the bag brackets, so I can put a coat of paint on them. I didn't paint them before because I was just, you know, testing fitment and whatnot. So now we paint and then final assembly and then plumb, wire, etc. Right, so now that I started running some of the lines underneath the car, wherever I want to zip tie them to something abrasive, like the frame or any other bracket, I got some 5/16 fuel hose. Yeah, fuel line. I'm just going to split it, cut a section so I can zip tie around this to surround the airline so it doesn't rub through anything. Just a little precaution so we don't have any leaks. Okay, so it's plumbed. Well, it's almost plumbed. Not to the back, so I'm still waiting for the brackets to dry. So until they dry and I get them in place, I can't really connect them at the wheels. But in the meantime, I'm going to start wiring it. But before I do, you're probably wondering why there's a big old space here and I put everything on one side. Well, I have an answer, and it's back there. I don't know if you can see that. That's a Sundown Audio X12 1250 watt, I think. Dual voice coil sub. And it's gonna sit right there. So the amp's gonna go up there. So before I wire the air ride, I'm gonna wire the, well, not wire the amp, but get it in place so I know where to put all the power lines and fuses. And I'm putting an extra battery so that the compressor and amp won't absolutely annihilate the stock go-kart battery that came with this thing. Golf cart, whatever you want to call it. So that goes there. Let's get it power. I did the wiring. I didn't record it because it was tedious and it took forever and it would have been really boring. But basically we got an extra battery back here that I had laying around for the Mercedes that I'm not using right now. So extra battery hooked up with a 0 or 2 gauge. I don't even know what that is. It's fat. It's like a garden hose. It goes all the way up to the well, to the fuse blocks, but this comes from the original battery in the car, so that they're both linked. Because I didn't want it to drain my stock battery, because it's a little golf cart battery. It runs underneath the carpet up through here. Put a little grommet, and there's a plate here. I don't know what it's for. Maybe there were vents for optional AC in the back at one point, but I didn't go through the body. There's like a, well, here I can just show you. Well, I can't see shit. Hold on, let me get a flashlight. Here you go. There's a plate right there. Went through that, put a grommet in it. It goes to the battery. Right here. So they're all linked. So we got plenty of juice. I still gotta run my speaker wires, but I gotta put the box in first, so we'll wait on that. Gotta do the RCAs. I got the air ride set up, wired in. We got our relay, our circuit breaker. I had to make my own harness because my cousin forgot to take it out of his car when he sold it, so I had to make my own. Luckily, the people at Airlift, shout out to them, they gave me the pinout that I needed to make it. And I had some leftover paracord from when I did my computer wiring, so I made it nice and pretty. So that's all set. I'm gonna make a cover for that because that's ugly. But this is all set. And it may or may not work. But we're gonna find out now because I have to reassemble the bags now that I painted these brackets. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Assemble the bags. It's all plumbed, so I just gotta plug them in. And then we can fill the tank and see if all of this effort was for nothing. This past weekend, it was my birthday actually, but so my buddy Serge came up to help and my cousin Nick stopped by to help, and we got the stereo cut into the old bezel. It's wired. It works with the front speakers. I haven't tested everything else yet. Everything's already wired. I think I showed you guys before. I showed you that, but now the sub box is in there and it kind of fits. But I want to show you guys this happy little accident. I was trying to figure a way to mount this back here without it sliding around, and there's no strap points or anything to stop it from flying forward. And since the actual cone is exposed, I don't want it sliding into the seats. So these 2 points are where the engine cover mounts. So I had some M8 bolts that were longer, went right through this piece of black walnut, which I forgot I need to take off in polyurethane so it matches. So that's hard mounted down. And then I put the stainless chain that I had left over from doing the Subaru truck tailgate. Bolted it down here, keeps it from sliding forward. And this keeps it from sliding back. And because they're inboard a little bit, it keeps it from sliding left to right. And the best part is, if I tilt this back, I don't know if I can do this with one hand. If you tilt it back enough, they get enough slack where I can take them off the hook and just slide the whole box out. It's like a quick disconnect. Drop it back in. There's tension. It's not going to vibrate, I don't think. That's it. We're good. I could have made a different box that fit better, but this is what I had from when I made for my cousin's for next charger. So whatever. It's good for now. Right. So these battery disconnects fit like that once you crimp and put the ends in. It fits anywhere from 6 to 10 gauge wire. These are 8, supposedly. And I probably should be using a hydraulic crimper. I don't have it with me, so just gonna have to do. Put it on that side. Go like that. There you go, easy peasy. The clips are identical, so you don't have to worry about getting them backwards either. I don't know what this is gonna do to my sound quality, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Again, temporary. Keep telling myself that. Alrighty. Everything's hooked up. Speaker wires are ran with the battery disconnects. Now the speaker disconnects. Put the radio back in. I got the control knob hooked up. Set that to minimum for now. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I also replaced the stock speakers with some 4x6 Scar audio speakers. It takes some modification, but a little bit of cutting and a little bit of stretching. It fits snug behind there. You can't really... Let's see. I'm able to see that there's a much nicer speaker back there. My old paper cones were all torn up. Anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the van on. You let me know if anything blows up. I got a light on the amp. The radio's on. I hear static. Repaired. There we go. Playing some non-copyright music. We got no bass though. Why don't we have bass? Oh. I forgot I turned the knob all the way down. There we go. Yeah. Next thing to do is test the air ride, but I kind of maybe sold the tires I was supposed to mount today to somebody, a follower on Instagram who was in need to pass inspection. So I gave him my DOT approved tires to mount, and I ordered another set. So those will be here in a couple days. But in the meantime, I guess I can see if I can even sync to the Bluetooth, because I don't have a remote. So we should probably figure that out. Turn the key on and hope it goes into pairing mode. Well, that's a thing. Pairing. Not in pairing mode. Why not? By display or ignition sequence. What is the ignition sequence? Shit. The internet lied. It said it'll go into pairing mode right away. Oh shit, it worked. We got pressure. Sick. I don't know if I want to fuck with it right now because the wheels aren't on it, so there's no load. Well, at least we know it pairs. But I want to press buttons. It did a thing. All right, so my tires finally showed up 2 weeks late because whatever I told you, I sold the other set. So all right, they're here now, so that's good. The wheels finally came out pretty good with the spray paint. Apparently the enamel was reacting with the 30-year-old Japanese paint and it was bubbling, so we sanded them down to nothing and then hit them with some regular, what is this, Rust-Oleum. So let's get these mounted so we can change that thing from looking like that to looking like this cut. And now it looks like this.